Bend the knee.
Valamogolis, everybody's Don Willie back again for another edition of Ice and Fire Opinions. And as you can see here, oh boy, I'm talking about the big bad, the biggest bad of them all. It is the Night King. And hold on, let me fix my flag in the background. If I could have a Night King flag, I would, but unfortunately I don't. But, represent another big bad here. We got Thanos, because, villains are all the rage these days, and boy, oh boy, this is one villain who, man, I'm not even sure what to say about this dude. And, shout out to the folks we got in the chat right now. We got Alicia Kingston, Frank from Way Off Topic Radio. Make sure to check out that one right there. And also, best when it comes to Twitter, Ion Tron. So the Night King is a very special example of one of the times where I feel that Dan and Dave have actually gotten things right by making an amendment to the story to adapt it for the TV. So, when he first got introduced, because there was so little information on the Age of Heroes and the like, we thought that the Night King was actually a physical manifestation of a legendary hero, well, not hero, but legendary figure from the Age of Heroes known as the Night King. So, George cleared this up and was like, no, basically he was a regular guy and he lived, thousands of years ago, and he is no more likely to have survived to the present day than somebody like Land the Clever, or I'm not even sure who else he mentioned, but I know he definitely said Land the Clever. So, when he shows up in the show, we kind of get this whole thing of, him being, I don't know. We gotta get this whole thing of him being menacing, because I think the first time, and I could be mistaken, I believe the first time we see him is when you have that one White Walker who's taking Craster's last son, other than what do you even call it? Craster's last son, other than Little Sam in the show. In order, for him to be turned into a White Walker, right? And I believe that is the first glimpse we get of the Night King in the TV show. And I must admit, that was one of those things that when I saw it, it was mind-blowing, because we never knew how the White Walkers were created. And, this is the whole thing where we found out about Craster giving up his sons, but we never knew the reason why. So it was one of those things where it was like, wow, okay, that's why he's giving up his sons to turn them into White Walkers. Holy shit. And shout out to Cassandra, my man Lenny, and also Anthony Vasquez. Lenny, I know I keep on forgetting to hit you up, but message me on the back end of my channel, man. Give me your info, because I want to forget after the stream, man. Anyway, so the next time we see the Night King that I remember, because I could, sometimes things get blended and it gets a little way off. Next time that I remember seeing him was Hard Home. And man, just his display of absolute power and authority, and just ultimate badassery at that point. Because obviously we knew that the White Walkers raise people from the dead and turn them into whites. Well, when you get that scene of him at Hardhome, all those people just got slaughtered. You got, bunches of wildlings just chopped to pieces. And even before that, forget about that part. So you have the wildlings who are at the gates at Hardhome, and they're all trying to ferry out. Some of them are coming through the gates or whatever to go to the boats, and you have that crackling, thundering sound. The mist comes through, and they're like, "Yo, we gotta close the gates! Close the gates!" You hear all the people banging the gates, screaming, and then silence. Next thing you know, tons and tons of whites come busting through the whole thing. Anybody who didn't get on them damn boats got chopped down. And like, damn, that's just, they're savaging the hell out of those people. And then the next thing you know, Night King walks up to the edge of the docks. The slaughter stops, looks at John, and just hits him with the, oh, you have no idea how fucked you are. Raises his hands, and all those people who just got chopped down are now part of his army. Wow, wow, wow. Shout out to King McKay, all the way from down under in the future. And of course, my man, Sir LT Giles. Happy birthday, Sir LT. And then obviously the next time we see him is when he's being created by the Children of the Forest. Now, I had thought to myself that the Children of the Forest created the White Walkers. I was not the first person to think of that, but I did come up with that idea independently of reading anyone else's theories or watching anyone else's videos. And so, like, when I got confirmation of that in the episode The Door, I was like, yes, I feel like a fucking genius. And I'm like, yo, man, like, there aren't like really many clues to that whole thing in the book. So the fact that I was actually able to extrapolate that and like, yeah, awesome. But there still leaves questions, at least for the show, because now that all of the damn children of the forest, or at least they look like all of them are dead, there's just so much that we don't know in terms of why, who was the Night King before he became the Night King. I mean, you have many people who speculated that he is of the Stark lineage from some point in time. Either he is Bran the Builder, someone who's a descendant of Bran the Builder, or just, maybe even one of Garth Greenhand's children who was before you have the House Stark name. So yeah, it's one of those things where, I really wish we had some more context for that whole thing. Who knows? I mean, maybe we'll never get to find out. Maybe in the show he is just some rando. Maybe that's just what he is in the show. So that would be kind of interesting yet disappointing if he's just some dude. It's like, oh yeah, we needed someone to experiment on. We captured the first man, and here we go. Some dude is not a Night King. And so obviously after that, Bran goes back into the green site. He sees the same place where the Night King was created, and the Night King displays something that we had absolutely no idea he could do. which is he has some form of green sight. And we don't know because Dan and Dave have already said that he's never going to talk. Even though in the books, the White Walkers do have a language. In the show, the White Walkers are absolutely nonverbal, so we do not know how they communicate whatsoever. But it appears that the Night King does have some form of green sight, because the fact that he was able to see Bran, and not only see Bran, but reach out and touch him in the vision, was the craziest thing of all. And for Bran to wake up out of the vision and actually have a physical mark which broke the magical barrier on the cave, I was like, oh man, Bran even fucked up. But you know what? I can't blame Bran for all of it, because friggin' three-eyed Raven didn't properly instruct him. Listen, a three-eyed Raven is a bad teacher. He's a real shitty teacher. I wouldn't want him teaching any of my college classes or anything like that. Yeah, man, that's neither here nor there. So, next thing you know, he arrives at the cave. He's got all these whites with him. He tests to see whether or not he is actually able to get in by causing a quake in the ground, and then proceeds to slaughter the children of the forest. Summer, may he rest in peace. And then what's his name? The three-eyed Raven. I just talked about him. He chops down the three-eyed Raven, and then finally Hodor is killed. Heroically holding the door. And shout out to Sam R09 and Icy Spots, who just showed up. Yeah, so that was a pretty harrowing episode. That was a very heartbreaking, to say the least, because it not only it was a kind of a loss of innocence for the character, beyond for Bran, especially beyond anything we had seen before. And so now, fast forward to season 6. No, that was season 6. Sorry. Fast forward to season 7 now, and the Night King. He is the looming threat. Jon is like, hey, I've seen the Night King and his damn army, and we gotta stop him. We gotta stop him. And the funny thing, though, is, Bran keeps on trying to find ways to probe his defenses, and he keeps on getting rebuffed. I mean, like, Bran is in a flock of ravens, and he's, just flying around, just trying to see where the Night King is. Just get a glimpse of where he is. And the moment that Night King senses him, he's like, oh, fuck out of here. And then next thing Bran is back in his body like, shit, okay. What am I going to do now? So that was, that was, just interesting to see. And it's like we find out that the dude is super powerful. And it's like, okay, why in the world would the children of the forest make their creation that damn powerful? Because I would love to see what happened that the Night King and the White Walkers turned on the children of the forest. Because to say that, okay, they created the Night King, and he's the one who created the other White Walkers. What made him turn on them? Like, that's the thing that I would like to know, because like from the book's perspective, to me it seemed more like, since there is no like one central White Walker that's a focus in the books, to me, I always likened it to a science experiment kind of gone wrong, where you have the children of the forest who were kind of like mad scientists who were creating a virus, and the virus gets out of control. And little did they know, it's like, oh, the virus can wind up killing them too. So that's why they decided to join up with the First Men. And shout out to Kat who just joined in the room. Um, but it's one of those things where when you look at it, you know, you have this all powerful character. Excuse me. You have this all powerful character who turned on his creators and is a threat to the entire world, to the point where, you know, the creators who made him have to team him up with the enemies that they made him to defeat. Like, you know, you done fucked up when you gotta go to the people that you created this weapon to kill and say, yeah, all right, do you mind helping us out right now so we can, you know, together we can bring down the weapon that we unleashed on you. Oh man. And so now I'm thinking, you know, like, all right, obviously he's the big bad, and you know, he has an agenda of some sort. We do not know what the agenda is other than death. I mean, is he nothing but a reckless force? You know, I mean, and that seems a little too simplistic for this story, because think about it, right? He can't just be some reckless force with absolutely no form of thinking, because he made a deal with Craster. And I'm pretty sure Craster isn't the only one that he ever made that deal with him. I mean, like, you know, he's been around for thousands of years. There have been, you know, over this amount of time, there have been, you know, hundreds of thousands of wildlings who have lived and died. I can't see that he just, all this time, has only ever made that deal with one guy. Like, yeah, and I mean, and if that is so, then what made Craster so special? You know, what made Craster so special that it was like, okay, I've been killing everyone else all this time, but you know, I'm going to let you give up your sons to me. Like, how do they communicate? Because remember, Night King's nonverbal. He just, you know, walks up to Craster one day and he's just like, you know, pointing at the baby, and he's just like, yeah, I didn't want him around anyway. You know, I wanted to keep banging on, you know, my daughter wives. So, you know, he might be a threat. So, yeah, you know, you have to take him. You know. And shout out to Young Dark Vader and also Simran Singh. Simran, I think I did the character you asked for last week, which was Marwin. So, you know, we come to now last week's episode. Very, very, very polarizing episode for many reasons, but one of those reasons was not the Night King. Now, the interesting thing about the Night King, right, was that, you know, he seemed a little less menacing earlier in the episode, because he's standing there. It's him, a couple of his generals, army of whites. Some of them fell through the frozen lake or whatever. And then after that, he stays there and lets them lets it refreeze. Now, I've heard speculation this whole week from a number of different people that the Night King actually set this up as a trap. You know, the only thing we're missing is Admiral Akbar. Shout out to Joe Swag, who just joined us. And so it would be interesting if he actually did set up the whole thing because of the fact of him having green sight, just so he could get a dragon. You know, and then the if that is the case, how omniscient is it? You know, how omnipresent is it? How far does his green sight stretch? You know, because if you're saying that, okay, he waited for Daenerys to come with a dragon specifically so he could take the dragon down, so he could add that to his arsenal, then that means, you know, I would imagine that he can see probably all of Westeros whenever, but we haven't seen, you know, yet what that's, you know, what it's, like what the range of his power is. Alright, and yeah, no doubt. Alright, so I will call you Sim from now on. Alright, so the thing about this one is, you know, obviously it was like, I'll be honest with you, like I had, you know, heard about the whole plot leak thing. You know, I didn't read like super intricate, in-depth details on it. I remember, you know, I did a video with Talking Thrones like way back. I'm like, maybe March, April, something like that. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember hearing about the Night King killing a dragon and bringing it back to life or whatever. But it didn't. I don't remember any details of how. I just remember being like, oh, so yeah, he brings, you know, he brings him back to life, and that's his mouth. And I just remember thinking to myself, okay, so he's standing there, Daenerys and the dragons roll up, and he, you know, his boy goes, grabs a spear, gives it to him, and your man launches javelin. I mean, like, yo, I don't think I've ever seen anybody throw any kind of missile like that. I think, shoot, man, the only person I could see probably doing anything like that would be like a superhero from one of the Marvel movies, or like Superman, Wonder Woman, the Hulk, Thor. Those are about the only people that I can see on screen actually doing what he. Oh, and this guy right here. Yeah, those are probably the only characters that I can see on screen having a spear, a javelin, a missile, whatever the hell you want to call it, and being on the ground and throwing that at a moving object that's a few hundred feet, you know, possibly 1,000 feet. Yeah, I heard people saying 30,000 feet and all that other crap. I'm like, come on, stop it. But it looked the size of a fucking ant. But yeah, you know, something possibly up to 1,000 feet in the air and bringing it down. And yo, man, honestly speaking, like, even though I knew that we were gonna lose a dragon, yo, that looked heartbreaking, man. Oh man, like, I'm not one for cruelty to animals. Like, I have a cat. I love my cat, you know, and people might say, oh man, you know, for a dude to have a cat, so kind of a wimpy, like, listen, man, fuck that shit. Cats, when they want to, will fuck you up. Alright, so don't ever get it twisted. But either way, I don't like seeing cruelty to animals. And yes, I understand dragon is a fictional animal, but yo, it still look fucked up, man. It still look fucked up. I mean, especially for the explosion of fire. So I guess that was the sack in which they're able to produce fire. So flames bursting out the side and the trail of blood, and then just crashing into the water. I was like, damn, it's pretty fucked up right there. Pretty fucked up. Oh, and shout out to Roger Sailor, who just entered the building, or has been there for a couple of minutes. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I was just like, yo, if you can't, I mean, like, if there was any doubt in your mind that this dude is, you know, that this dude is like fucking the most super of super villains. Oh boy, I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, like, damn, bro, damn. That's all I can say for that shit. Cause, like, yeah, you had Qyburn Scorpion, but Qyburn Scorpion wasn't doing damage like that. Like he one shot, one kill. And small little off tangent real quick. Qyburn Scorpion, yeah, it was, technically cool or whatever. They gave Braun the ultimate action hero shots with that one. But for those of you who are not super well versed in A Song of Ice and Fire history, one of Aegon's dragons got brought down with a scorpion bolt in Dorne 300 years ago. So, it's one of those things where, okay, 300 years ago, someone came up with the scorpion bolt. Qyburn is probably one of the 5 smartest people in Westeros that we've seen. And all he could do is just repeat history. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to see a gunpowder weapon or a weapon that somehow used wildfire. That's what I wanted to see. That would have been awesome. That would have been game changing, because just to have a scorpion bolt, okay, I understand it's the Middle Ages, but remember, even in the Middle Ages, they had gunpowder. So I'm saying, the reason why armor went out of fashion is because motherfuckers got guns. And it was like, all right, until they came up with the bulletproof vest, like, you put on all that armor, I'm still gonna blow a hole right through it. And I think, to me personally, I think that would have been the thing that would have sent people into overdrive. Like, holy shit, they came up with something brand new and just fucking blew people's minds. But, that's just me. Alright, so we still have yet to see what the Night King can do. And I'm I don't know, I really wanna get a glimpse of what it is the Night King, like, what further damage can he possibly do? And and shout out to Cardinal Doomsday. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, obviously they have to give us something Battle of the Bastards level, something Hard Home level, something Blackwater level, something Watchers on the Wall level. Like, we need to get that. I mean, like, I hope that this last episode wasn't supposed to be that, because if it was, then thoroughly disappointed. And also the director, you know what? And it's like, I don't like to get on people, for the sake of doing it, but when you throw yourself under the bus, or when you lay down for the bus to roll over you, fucking honk the horn and roll that fucking bus over him. The dude who directed this past episode, which was Beyond the Wall, for those of you who will watch this later, he's also the guy who directed Terminator Genesis and directed Thor: The Dark World. Now, Thor: The Dark World, I don't think was like horrible, but it wasn't a mind blowing movie. Terminator Genesis, on the other hand, oh boy, oh boy. And so basically, he did an interview, and he was like, "Oh well, he was like, yeah, pretty much. I understand that, you know, there are certain distances that are supposed to be traveled and, you know, et cetera, but yeah, we just kind of said, fuck logic. Why do we need it?" And I'm paraphrasing, you know, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. A shout out to Victor Ortega. Oh, holy shit, we actually have the Night King in the room. And you know what? You know what time it is? I've already hit the 30-minute mark, so it is time for questions. It's time for questions from chat. Alright, hold on, let me let everyone know, because it's still a few seconds. And I don't know why. Alright. I don't know why, but I hope this isn't freaking tendonitis coming back again. I'm going off on tangents. Don't mind me. It's been a long day. But we actually have a question already from Victor Ortega, but let me bring up the chat so everyone out there can see. Alright, so first one we got from Victor Ortega, and I just saw it a second ago. John and Night King have a dance battle. Who wins? Yo, the Night King, because you know what he can do? Throw down a sheet of ice, have one of his homeboys on the side with the ice boombox, throw on the old school jam, and you know, next thing you know, you see him pop blocking, doing all kinds of windmills and all that. I don't know that John would be able to handle Night King in a dance battle. Alright, another one from Victor Ortega. Will Dany get armor? If she was smart, she would. Yeah, I don't think that she is that smart though. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here from Cassandra Gonzalez. Do you think that Cersei will realize the Night King can defeat Dany and get dragons, and will, through that line of thinking, end up as the Night Queen? I think she's too arrogant to be anyone's queen at this point. I think she's way too arrogant. I don't think that there's any way that she would accept being the queen, because her being someone's queen means that she ultimately gives up power in the form of, I get to say what goes, you know. And shout out to James Lycan. Wow. You know, it's funny. All right, so you know, for those of you who may not be able to see this, he says, "Yo, fuck D&D. I'm so disappointed in this whole season." And I understand. I do understand. Yeah, I understand that line of thinking. Oh man, all right. Sim, real quick, I will answer your question before you go, and then I will get to I guess Iron Throne, and Poison. Let's see here. All right, so how do I think it's going to end book and show with a pack or someone dying? So for the book, me, excuse me, for the book, me personally, I think that at the end of it, you're gonna have a possible confederation of smaller kingdoms again. I think that John will be forced to go to the lands of always winter. And I think that Daenerys is going to hop on Drogon and be like, you know what, this is not what I wanted. Fuck this shit, I'm going across the Sunset Sea. Because I think it would make for a dope story of the legendary Dragon Queen. Like, because I think at the end of the story, we're not going to have any more magic present. So I think that I think it would be awesome if I think it would be awesome if like you have like how you know, I'm trying to think of what like in our world we have these myths and legends about all this magical stuff, but nobody actually believes in magic today, right? You know, we know that, you know, David Copperfield and Chris Angel and all that shit is illusions. So, you know, imagine if at the end of the story it winds up being a thing where you have a certain amount of people who are recounting the story, and it's like, oh yeah, there was, you know, 1,000 years ago, was, you know, there was the big war for the Dawn and the White Walkers and the Dragon Queen, and at the end of it, you know, we got the society that we got today, or the formation of the society we got today. The Dragon Queen had the chance to rule over the Seven Kingdoms, but she was benevolent and decided to fly away on her dragon, never to be seen again. And you know, the legend of Daenerys Targaryen. You know, so you know, that's what I would like to see, but you know, it could be totally different. All right, all right. So from Ion Throne, are there remaining chances of getting an actual ice dragon made of ice for the show? Hell nah, no dice. All right, from is that supposed to be poison? I'm not exactly sure, man, because I see P capital O and S N. So I mean, I'm guessing it's supposed to be poison. I don't know. All right, so did the Night King walk into the White John and company captured in order to eavesdrop on the Magnificent Seven? Yo, that would be and see, this is what I'm saying. Like, that would be awesome, right? But the thing that we don't know is whether or not what happened was a setup to get a dragon. You know, if it wasn't a setup to get a dragon and it's just dumb luck that he had those damn ice spears, it's like, well, why the hell did he wait all that damn time? He had those giant ass ice spears. Why was he not throwing them shits at John and company while they were standing on that lonely island? And, you know, no idea. No idea whatsoever. Yeah. Let's see here. From Cat, what do you think will happen with Tormund? Well, Tormund is currently still at the wall. Look, I think that you've never had Brienne pursued by anybody in earnest. You know, like in the show they don't go into it, but in the books there's this whole thing that there's this whole thing that there's kind of a running joke about Brienne being called a beauty even though like she's ugly, and people trying to basically deflower her just for bragging rights, just to say, yeah, I did it, yeah, I don't like her, she's an ugly beast, but still, none of you guys were able to sleep with her, and I did. It's just kind of like, all right, you guys are assholes, but whatever. That's your prerogative. But in the show, she's never really been pursued by anybody, and the first guy she comes across that's like really interested in her, is a wildling. So that was pretty interesting, just in terms of that whole thing. So I think Tormund, at the end of the day, will wind up with Brienne, and he will make giant babies, rule the world and kill everybody. Yeah. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let's see. So from Joe Swag, do you think the Night King can be killed just as easily as his White Walker lieutenants? Just poking him with Valyrian steel or dragon glass kills those guys. So it can't be that damn easy. Like, honestly speaking, the fact that it's that easy to kill them with dragonglass and Valyrian steel almost makes them kind of cheap. Because I mean, like, it's like, all right, you get touched with dragonglass or Valyrian steel, and it's over for you. Like, it's just over. Forget about losing. Like, someone cut your arm off. Like, imagine if someone cut off you see someone cut off someone else's arm and they just disintegrate. Forget about prosthetic. Like, imagine if that would happen to Jamie. They freaking cut his hand off, and the next thing you know, Jamie just fucking turns into dust. Like, imagine how different the story would be right now. Oh man, that's just it's kind of fucked up right there, man. So no, I don't think it can be that easy. Like, that'd be kind of fucked up if it was that easy though. Like, he is the big bad, and all you gotta do is just scratch him with some dragon glass, and all of a sudden it's all done. Scratch him with the Valyrian. Like, forget about even like really chopping him down. Scratch him. Gets a fucking scratch on the face, and then it's all over. Like, oh god, that would be so damn cheap. That would be so fucking cheap. Oh man. All right. Let's see. From James Lycan. Yes, Beric did stay at the wall. Not sure why he. Not sure why he stayed at the wall. I mean, well, no, I know why he stayed at the wall, but whatever, man. Let him stay at the wall. Fuck it, it's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over that. Let's see here. A shout out to Ida Niles, who just came in. Let's see here. Alright, so from Frank, the Way Off Topic Radio, did Bloodraven's skin change into young Benjen when he was killed, and that's why he went to the wall and disappeared when he did? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he would have mentioned something about it if he did. That is an interesting theory, but yeah, I don't think that's what happened though. All right, from Anthony Vasquez. Do you think that a fire dragon can be warped by a White Walker in the books? See, here's the thing. So in the books, we don't necessarily know that the White Walkers are wargs. We know that they're necromancers, but we don't know that specifically that they are wargs. And honestly speaking, in the books, it's not explicitly stated that the White Walkers create the whites in the books. In the show, yes, it is very explicit. In the books, it's sort of implied, but it's not a thing where you actually see it happen. So, yeah, I mean, while I think it could be possible, we haven't actually seen them do any warging. Necromancy, yes. Warging, not so much. So yeah, we need a little more evidence, and until we get the Winds of Winter, whenever we get the Winds of Winter, that's when we'll get some sort of evidence, hopefully. Shout out to Sandy Stark. So she's moving from one chat to another. It's like that. I don't know what happened this year, but like it seemed like people have went on a kind of live streaming free for all. It's the wild wild west right now. And it's funny because I purposely picked this day and time because no one else that I knew no one else that I knew was streaming at this particular day and time. And in fact, like the small council, I think the small council are on right now. I picked Thursday because traditionally for the past like 3 or 4 years they have been doing it on Wednesday. And what happens this year? Now they're doing it on Thursdays. I'm like, you guys are killing me here. So it's not a competition or anything, but I know how hard it is to get eyes on your videos when, especially live stream, when someone else is live streaming. So it is what it is with that one. But so from my man Lenny Lopez, what's up with the rumor that Bran is the Night King and Bran the Builder? All right, so there is a theory going around that Bran is all of the different Brans throughout history, and that he could possibly also be the Night King. People have been putting up all of these different memes and showing all of the different facial characteristics, etc., etc. That Bran is also the Night King. He went in the past and warged some dude and all this other stuff. I mean, we have no evidence of it as of yet. It seems plausible only because he can travel through time, through the werewood net, and if the show is any indication, he can also warg people in the past. I doubt that he would be every Brandon or even Bran the Builder, only because that would mean basically that he never lived his own life. He never lives his own life, and these other Brandons never live their own lives either. But because of the fact that A, he can travel through time, and B, you have old Nan's story about how she's lived so long, there have been so many Brandons throughout her time that all the Brandons seem like one in her mind. She, like, her telling that story and basically almost everything that she says coming true, it's one of those things where it's one of those things where she may have predicted what we'll see in the future. So that would be interesting if, in book 1, we get the setup that Bran has always been all the Brans throughout time. But like I said, my biggest issue with that is current Bran doesn't get to live his own life, and none of the other Brans ever really got to live their life too if he's all of them. So, that would be a little fucked up. All right. So from Jayon, is that Calrissian? Yeah, I guess he's Calrissian. Where is Blackfire and Dark Sister? Um, Not in the show for one. Not in the show. But so in the books, Blackfire, if I would guess Blackfire is probably with the Golden Company and will get reintroduced to the story when Aegon finally takes the throne. And as far as Dark Sister, it's got to be with Blood Raven in that cave, and I think that Mira is probably going to fight her way back home with Dark Sister. You know, now who gets it after that? Have no idea, but that's what makes sense to me. All right, from Sandy Stark. Um, does the Night King want to kill Bran to prevent Bran becoming the Night King? So, another kind of paradoxical thing. It's like, I gotta kill me in the past so I don't become me now in the future or something. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. I destroy him who is me, who is him, who is me, in order to prevent him from becoming me. Oh man, I think in the show, Bran and Night King are two totally separate entities, and yeah, like I said, I don't know what his motivations are, and I think we need to see what the motivations are. Who knows? I mean, like, this is going to be an 80-minute episode, the season finale, longest episode they've ever had, and the question that I have for this one now, when they do this, I mean, I'm guessing there's a lot that we haven't seen in these trailers. There's got to be a lot that's still left up for. Yeah, there's still got to be a lot left to be revealed. So, yeah, I can't. Like, as apprehensive as I am, I can't wait to see it, and hopefully we'll get to learn more about the White Walkers, because we're not going to have time in season 8 to do that. Season 8's got 6 episodes. We're not going to have time that I can think of to really delve into the motivations of the White Walkers beyond their original creation. So, we'll see what happens. But no, I don't think that Bran and Night King are the same person. So, but it is an interesting question. All right, so from Kat, how do you think the Ice Dragon can be killed? That isn't going to be easy either. No, it is not going to be easy. Man, I don't know. You know what? Scorpion Bolt dipped in wildfire. Boom. Hopefully, yeah, I will get my damn wildfire weapon in season 8 if we're lucky. Dan and Dave, if you're listening, you fucks. Scorpion Bolt dipped in wildfire kills Viserion. Write it. It's better than what the fuck you've been writing. Trust me. Alright, so from Cardinal Doomsday, will you watch season 8? You seemed very down yesterday. I will watch season 8. I'm hoping that that they hear what the fans are saying. I mean, yes, okay, the numbers are nice and all that, but you know what? You have to you have to maintain quality, not just visually, but in storytelling. You promised George that you would bring his vision to the screen. Do your best to keep that promise. All right. You know, I've been very critical of Dan and Dave, uh, and them kind of to a certain extent seeming like they can seeming kind of arrogant, as if they can do George's story better than him. And they've stripped down a lot of the complexities, especially in this season, because they want to be done with the show. And I'm like, look, if you want to be done with the show, okay, fine. But hand it over to another team then, who is going to hand it over to another team who is going to respect the author and his source material and what he was trying to get across. you know, because I'll be honest with you, this last episode seemed kind of disrespectful to fans. You got people out there who are talking about it's the greatest episode ever, but they also said that about the episode before it, and the episode before it, and the episode before it. And I've told you guys before, anyone who gives every episode a 10 is a liar and a charlatan, and is hoping that that by them giving nothing but glowing reviews that you'll subscribe to their channels, and that you'll hopefully give them money on Patreon or GoFundMe or whatever else. Just don't believe the people who are lying to you. All right, if I seem down, it's because I want the show to be a 10. I want the show to always be a 10. But when it's not, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it, because I'm listen. I have too much integrity to do that to the people who watch me. The same way I put my faith in the showrunners to create the best product. I think that you guys put your faith in me to give you not only my honest opinion, but honest analysis because not everybody picks out some of the smaller details. I'm a very detail oriented person. I don't know if you look at the screen and see the amount of detail that I try putting into things, but I mean, listen, I just don't, I don't want you guys to be misled. Just like the way I don't like being misled either. So, yeah, man. All right, let me get back before I start getting off the wheels with all that stuff. All right, but yeah, thank you for the question, Cardinal Doomsday. All right, so from James Lycan, does Viserion still spit fire or ice? I would imagine that it should be ice. Just for counterbalance, and also because the people of Westeros have to know how big of a threat the Night King is. And so it's like, yeah, if it's a dead dragon spitting fire, okay, we've seen the fire, maybe we can defend against the fire. How do you defend against someone who's freezing you out now? And I think that's the twist that you need, so I think it would have to be ice. Right? So from Icy Spots, will we see Heartsbane again? Yeah, we have to, but shit. See, here's the thing. Logically speaking, we have to. D&D show logic. Heartsbane, what's that? So, that's the best answer I can give you right now. Alright, from Ida Niles. Do you think Cersei will miscarry the baby? It's possible, and that would make her even more unhinged. I'm not even sure how you could possibly become more unhinged, but man, that is definitely a possibility. Man, oh god, I'd hate to. Yeah, I'd hate to be Jamie to wake up to Cersei after miscarriage and her just wanting to fucking burn shit down because she, lost a child that she never had. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see here. All right, so from Jeon Calrissian, so Fagon got Blackfire. I agree, but Drogon is the DNA test book version for Aegon's Mummer's Dragon or Aegon Jon Snow. I'm not exactly sure what you meant by that, but it is what it is. Let's see here. JC. Sorry that you had a question there. All right, from Sandy Stark. Yeah. See, I don't know if these questions are for me or you're just kind of answering each other or asking questions to each other for some of this stuff. All right, so from Anthony Vasquez, do you think the White Walkers are a race all their own, or do you think they were created by the children? If you're talking about the books, I think they were created by the children. I think they grabbed a group of first men and created the White Walkers because it's not necessarily the perfect infiltration device, but just imagine the children of the forest were not as numerous as human beings were. So they figured the best way to kill human beings is to create a weapon out of humans that kills humans. Which, smart idea, but like I said, in a lot of science fiction, you have that same kind of thing where the scientist creates, their mass destruction weapon, and then that mass destruction weapon winds up killing the scientist who created it. Let's see here. All right, so from Lenny, do you think Night King is gonna make it to King's Landing, or will they stop him at Winterfell? Um, well, Winter has to make it to King's Landing because you have, Daenerys' vision from the House of the Undying with the Iron Throne covered in snow. Now, people have speculated that this means that the snow thing is a metaphor for Jon Snow sitting in the throne, and the fact that she actually doesn't touch the throne means that she won't actually be queen of Westeros. Um, Honestly speaking, I don't know. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. Season 6 has me really rethinking whether or not Dan and Dave know any kind of subtlety whatsoever. It really does because, like, while most people, well, not most people, while people who look for subtlety and look for foreshadowings and stuff they can pick up on like that, we're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, look at the visual metaphor or whatever. That might not mean a damn thing. It really might not. And shout out to Lord Dom Snow and Curtis Williams. Uh, so yeah, I think he's gonna make it the King's Landing. Where is he? I don't know. It's a little too early to tell, honestly speaking. Um, yeah, it's a little too early to tell. Man, Yeah, you kind of stumped me with that one, Lenny. You stumped me with that one. All right, from Anthony Vasquez, do you think Beric Dondarrion will perform Last Kiss? Um, okay, so I've heard it speculated by a lot of people, especially after this episode, that Jon Snow will die again, and Beric Dondarrion will sacrifice his final life to resurrect Jon Snow. I think narratively, it kind of makes sense. He killed off Thoros Samir, um, who was the guy who was bringing everyone back. So yeah, so I'm guessing sometime in season 8, Jon Snow will fall in battle, and Beric Dondarrion will resurrect him. Unless they just wind up doing some crazy shit at the end of this episode, or towards the end of this episode, uh, this coming season finale. Which, I don't know. You got 80 minutes. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? Let's see here. All right, Q&A from Iron Throne. Will we get any more Children of the Forest in the TV show? Only if they do flashbacks, and we've already heard Dan and Dave said that they really don't like doing flashbacks, which is why we got our first one ever in like season 5. So, and that was the Cersei one, and it was like, all right, that's only because they felt like they had to, but they didn't need to for the Cersei one, especially since they left out the whole Valonqar thing. All right, for way off topic radio, where did the giant chains come from? And when Thoros Samir died, why didn't the Night King raise him, try to kill all of them on a very high 5-foot rock? Yeah, listen, again, that's one of those things where I can't call it, man. D&D show logic. That's the only answer I can give. All right, so from Cat, let's see here. Do you think Theon will rescue Yara at some point? I think he will. I think he will rescue Yara and die in the attempt. I think he's going to rescue Yara from Euron, and get her safely onto a boat. And just as he's about to cross from Euron's boat to whatever boat he just put Theon on, put Yara on, Euron is going to stab him in the back and pull out the sword, and then we see Theon fall over the side of the boat into the water, and then that is the end of Theon Greyjoy. Okay, so from Curtis Williams, do you think Cersei breathing White Walker ash in the trailer is significant? It was significant to fucking troll the shit out of us, is what it was. No, it was just one of those things to illustrate that winter is here, even though in the Dragon Pit scene we clearly see winter has not reached King's Landing yet. Yeah, so it was just something to look cool. That's all. It's just to look cool. No significance whatsoever. Okay, let's see here. From Anthony Vasquez. Golden Company in episode 7. Interesting. I could see them doing that, but I don't know. Because I don't know, man. You know, you got Littlefinger's travel services working overtime. Yeah, Littlefinger's got to be a billionaire by now. With how many people are using his teleporter, his wormhole, his magic caves, his jetpacks. I mean, Littlefinger's travel services this season have been working overtime. I want to know about the wormhole that Daenerys flew through in order to get to be able to save John and company on time, and also the wormhole or the jetpack, because I think Gendry had to use a jetpack to get over the damn haunted forest. But yeah, you know where the jetpack was that Gendry used to get back to the wall so quickly. All provided by Littlefinger Travel Services, getting you where you need to be. So we could see the Golden Company next episode. I don't know that it would make any sense to have the Golden Company, but I don't know. We'll see. From Maria Lind, do you think Yara will be pregnant and tongueless when Theon rescues her? So I know what you're referring to. You're referring to Felia. I don't know, whatever flowers. The chick from the Shield Islands. Um, yeah. That would be heartbreaking. And maybe that's why when we see that shot on in the trailer of Theon, he's kind of collapsing and crying because he let that happen to his sister. That would be, oh man, that would be kind of fucked up. That would be a real bad way for Yara to go out, man. Because at that point, you might as well kill her. If that's what you're gonna do to Yara, like that's beneath what she deserves. You might as well kill her at that point. Let's see here. Okay, so from Way Off Topic Radio, why do John's wounds look so not healed and almost blue? Because John is still dead. He's being held together by fire magic, and so his wounds never actually healed. That's the best answer I can give. All right, so from Jeon Calrissian, he's saying that Drogon will be like DNA tester in the book. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. For Lenny Lopez, what was the point of bringing Gendry back? I have no idea. Show off a badass Warhammer. I don't know. I mean, look, I think that they will discover the secret of Valyrian steel, and you need a smith who knows a little bit about working with Valyrian steel. Gendry's teacher, his mentor, knew how to reforge Valyrian steel, so maybe Gendry will be like a master smith, and with the help of like something that Sam finds in one of those books, he will reforge, or he will forge new Valyrian steel for the first time in like a couple hundred years. So, hopefully that's what they do with Gendry. All right, from Heavy Microgo, says 3 days passed on the ice slate. Yeah, well, if that is the case, then they needed to find a better way to illustrate that. People shouldn't have to do any mathematics. They shouldn't have to they shouldn't have to like, look, we as fans are supposed to sit there, watch it, and get the information from watching. If I have to go and tell your story, or fill in the gaps to your story for the rest of the general audience, then you have failed. How the hell was I supposed to know the 3 days passed on the lake? There was no mention of it. Never said, oh man, we got 3 days worth of food, or we just ate our last 3 days worth of food. Nothing. We got absolutely nothing. We got Gendry running to the wall, Davos saying send the raven, Daenerys getting the raven, Daenerys flying and saving them. The most that we saw was 1 day pass. We saw that it was still light when Gendry left. By the time he got to the wall, it was kind of dusk. And then we saw Daenerys leave. It was light, and when she came back, it seemed like like it was, becoming dusk again. That's what we saw. So, people can say 3 days or however many days, but if that was the case, they should have conveyed it in the episode. I've heard about like somebody putting on Reddit, like they calculated the distances and all that. They shouldn't have to do that. Should not have to do that whatsoever. So, yes, fail. Okay. So, way up top radio. We were told Jack and Hagar will be in season 7. How will he be in the next episode? I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever. It doesn't even make any sense that he would be in the next episode, honestly speaking. Yeah. No idea. Alright, so from Curtis Williams. Would you be disappointed if history repeats itself? Nissa, Daenerys, Jon. It's like we already know the ending. Yeah, I would be a little disappointed if it was just, Jon stabs Daenerys through the heart to create the new Lightbringer. Yeah, that would be a little disappointing. I don't think that George is going to 100% just repeat history like that, though. I think it would kind of defeat the purpose. From James Lycan. Do you think we will finally get to see a flashback this episode? We deserve a damn payoff. We deserve a lot of things that we are not going to get from this series. Oh, we deserve a whole lot. No, Dan and Dave already said they don't like flashbacks to begin with. There's so much we should have gotten in terms of flashbacks to help us fill in the gaps. If we do get a flashback, I will be so fucking thoroughly surprised. I will be beyond shocked. My jaw will hit the floor, bust through the concrete, go through the basement, bust through that concrete. Yeah, my jaw might wind up at the center of the earth if we get another flashback. Alright, for Ty Fowler. Will the Night King be the first character to dab on the show? If not, who then? I mean, listen, Night King got that swag. So I mean, I could see him. I could see him taking down, mowing down an army, and just, while they're all standing there amazed, he just like, and then right back to it. So he might be the first one to do it. Oh man! So all right, for Anthony Vasquez, do you think Jon can still bust a nut? Man, I don't know, man. Like, can he get it up? I have absolutely no idea. Shout out to Cardinal Doomsday. You know, he had to bounce. You know. Excuse me. And also shout out to the Worthless. You know, who jumped in the building. Yeah. That would be interesting. I mean, like, we kind of got foreshadowing that him and Daenerys are gonna have a kid. You know, Daenerys talking about I can never have kids, and you know, but you look hot. You look so hot, and I waited for you at the top of the wall. And oh my God, even with your scars, you just look so hot, Jon Snow. And yes, Danny. I don't know where the hell I came up with the name Danny, and why I'm just calling you Danny. Like I'm just so fucking familiar with you, but yes, Danny, I got the hots for you, Danny. Yo, man, fucking, these fucking guys. I'm sorry, yo, that shit fucking. I just remember thinking to myself, yo, fucking, Viserys called Daenerys Danny. I haven't heard anyone else call her Danny. What the fuck is John just, rolling up and just calling her Danny like that? Okay, let me move along before I have to start another fucking D&D rant. Oh, and trust me, the case against Dan and Dave Part 2, it's coming. Oh, case against Dan and Dave Part 2 is coming. Either I'm gonna do it in this form right here, or I'll do another Talking Tree video. But case against Dan and Dave Part 2. Ooh. Oh, they gonna have to get this work. All right, so from Curtis Williams, whatever happened to Pate the Pig Boy? I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to Pate the Pig Boy. I gotta go back and see what happened with the whole Pate story, because I mean I know he was, I guess some kind of legendary figure or something like that. But yeah, man, I don't know. Haven't been thinking too much about Pate the Pig Boy because I've been thinking about fucking the damn faceless man who's probably gonna try to either kill Sam or Alaris the Sphinx. All right, so from the Worthless, when do you think Bran will actually do something or at least convey any meaningful information? Season 8, episode 6. It's the way it kind of seems right now. He knows all of the shit, and he's just like, it's not important. None of it is important. Where's my value? My lithium? Nothing's important. Anybody got a Marilyn Manson album? It's all fucking pointless. Fucking super emo Bran. Shout out to Meridian Mormont and also Quentin Gilliam. Alright, so from Kat, what would you say would be the worst way for Cersei to die? There is no worst way for Cersei to die because Cersei is such a despicable human being that that whatever way that she dies probably isn't horrible enough. Yeah, so alright, so from hold on, where we go. Curtis Williams. Thoughts on Sam's storyline from A Feast for Crows to now on the show? Yeah, I liked where they were going with him in A Feast for Crows. I think that Sam is going to be the only guy to kill a White Walker a faceless man, and probably like Sam is gonna be the dude that winds up killing like a bunch of mythical things that no one knew existed or didn't think could be killed. Kind of by accident. So I like what they're doing with him there. In the show, people have kind of said that his storyline is wasted. And no, like I think his is one of the few storylines that hasn't been wasted. But the fact that Randall Tarley was not pissed about his sword being missing, will still always puzzle me till till the end of the show, at least. Not to the day I die. Okay, so Anthony Vasquez, does the Night King have Sub-Zero like powers? Probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see here. Quentin Gilliam, what's up with Jackin, episode 7. I don't know. It's like, if he comes back, what is the point? There has to be a point if you're going to reintroduce Jackin and the Faceless Men. And I don't know what that point is currently. Could he come back? Yeah. They're doing a bunch of throwback shit right now, so yeah, of course you could have Jackin come back. The question is what for. So, as long as they can provide some compelling reason, which at this point I don't know if that's possible. But as long as they can provide a compelling reason for Jackin to come back, then yeah, let him come back. I like Jackin Colgar, though, at least the actor that played him. All right, for way off topic, radio. Do you think Night King will not have to bring down the wall due to the theory that he built it in the first place? That is very possible. I mean, like what sense does it make that you build an ice wall to keep out beings that are made of ice? Like, what sense does that actually make? It's like, yeah, these guys manipulate and control ice. You need to build a giant ice wall and put spells on it to keep them out. But I don't know, maybe there's some specific reason for that. We never know. All right, so shout out to Miss Mandy of Noth. And what's up? Top Fowler's got a question here. It said, did you see the photo going around with the truck? Yeah, yes, I saw that. Oh my God, so for those of you who do not know, there is a photo circulating right now on the internet of a giant mistake in Game of Thrones, probably one of the biggest mistakes since seeing Littlefinger with a damn wristwatch on, and that is a truck in the background during one of the scenes beyond the wall. Somebody really was sitting there like super analyzing that, because I missed that entirely, and yet somehow somebody caught that and put it on the internet. Oh my God, it just circulated around, and like, how did nobody catch that? How did the editors, like, nobody caught? Yo, chill. I can't. I'm not, man. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so from the worthless, since the Night King, let's see, can whatever. Since the Night King can, think you left out a word there. Oh, sorry, one. All right, sorry. It's been a long day. Since the Night King can one hit kill dragons, how can they possibly defeat him without the show writers doing some major ass pulls? They can't. They can't. They can't. I don't. There's nothing else I can say. They can't. They can't. Listen, how do you defeat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? So that's pretty much what it is. Oh man. Shout out to Brandon Parker. Yes, a truck. A truck. So from Cat, it says, rumor has it that Jaqen will come back to tell Arya that their god has requested a name from her list. Do you think there may be any truth to that? Like, alright, so... But see, here's the thing. She can already kill them herself. She doesn't need the Faceless Men to do that, you know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that would be so fucking stupid. That would be so damn stupid. The Red God has, like, or the God of Death or whatever has requested a name from her list. I mean, to do what? Like, they requested that she take a name off of her list, or requested that, oh yeah, you still have a list, give us a name off the list and we'll kill him for you. It's like, what for? She can do it herself. Alright, from Curtis Williams, describe a disappointing beginning and end to the Winds of Winter. A disappointing beginning to the Winds of Winter. This is a tough question. This is a really tough question. Listen, a disappointing end to the Winds of Winter would be the wall not coming down. A disappointing beginning to the Winds of Winter. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what would be. All right, I'm sorry. I got stuff for a sec. Miss Mandy. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the whole season 8-week thing, whatever. Yeah, probably. I don't know, cause like they. Sorry. Whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think it's already been confirmed that they have already turned in the scripts for season 8, because they are supposed to begin shooting in October. That would be kind of crazy if they already leaked the scripts for season 8, but whatever. It's hard to tell fan fiction from what's real nowadays with this shit, man. Yeah, but yeah, sorry, I can't think of a disappointing beginning for the Winds of Winter, Curtis. Like I said, disappointing end would be the wall not coming down, and yeah, man. All right, you know what? I think I'm going to wrap this one up. As always, I got work to do. You know, no, Lenny will not. As far as I know, I don't think we're waiting until 2019. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap this one up. I still got work to do as always, but I do love doing this with you guys every week. I will be back next Thursday, of course. And since it is after the season, and I said that I was waiting until the end of the season to do what they did with this character. Next week will be Euron. And think of 13. So I guess this will be the last question before I go. What's your favorite season and why? My favorite season of Game of Thrones. Man. You know what? I'll say season 5. Season 5 had a lot of good episodes, but it had Hard Home. Hard Home was awesome. Hard Home was so damn awesome, So yeah, season 5. All right, yeah. So all right. Let me make sure to copy this down from Lenny now, so I don't want to forget like I did last time. Lenny, I will hit you up definitely now that I actually have this damn thing copied down. All right. All right, so yeah, next week is Euron because I wanted to see what they were gonna do with this character this season before I decide to do one of these videos. The week after that, I will be doing Theon, and I'll put another poll up on Twitter sooner or later, to ask what other characters you guys want to see. So yeah, join me again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Ice of Fire opinion, and for me to, do some more ranting about the show, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Hopefully they will redeem themselves with this season finale. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, you guys already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share. Tell your friends to come back for more. That has been my time. And this is Don Willie saying, Valadoris.